Arthur's Key, I was surprised to see that the occupied Limerick camp had been taken down. For several weeks it had occupied a discreet space on Liddy Street beside the closed down stores. During the Christmas period I visited the tent a couple of times to encourage the occupants and to express admiration for what they were doing. Anne Sheridan, writing in the Limerick Chronicle, reported that it was their decision to dismantle the operation due to lack of people who could give their full-time support to the movement. It was interesting to observe that the camper who spoke to Anne is Terry Irwin, a 47-year-old from the Liberties in Dublin. He recognised that the movement is bigger than holding up a tent. Similar to their Cork counterparts, they hope to get an AMA building as a centre for their activities and to re-erect the camp as part of the International Contemporary Art Exhibition in the city next May in the EVA exhibition. Perhaps it's nostalgia for my lost youth and the days of huge student protests back in the 1960s that makes me so disappointed with the lack of real indignation at what is happening to our country. We only hear from students today when their fees are raised. Why? As I listened to the chanting occupiers, I was tempted to cross O'Connell Street and stand with them. Part of me feared the isolating experience of being part of any protest movement. Opposing the war in Iraq and publicly supporting the peace camp in Shannon provoked some hostility towards me in former times. Work with the asylum seekers and refugees was not a popular cause. I felt the cold wind in church circles. Despite all that has happened, we continue to genuflect towards the higher powers. Debate is not encouraged, protest is almost unthinkable. The demonstrating remnants in Bedford are unlikely to cross the road to our church. They have their own reasons for not doing so, but we have common ground with them in our particular brand of socialism as Augustinians, as victims of greed and the worship of the golden calf. The gospel challenge of good news to the poor is not far away from the aspirations of the Occupy Limerick movement. It may be idle speculation to point out that the Latin word for tent is in fact tabernacle. In the scriptures, God was housed in the tent of meeting, travelling with his pilgrim people. He asks, are we too tied to kingdoms of bricks and mortar? Am I the only one who refers to the open space at the back of our church as hospitality space? Fair play to Liam Ryan.